The subject we are discussing in our last talk, we haven't finished yet, about Nama and Rupa, mind and the matter. And that comes in answering the question about the difference between the two, Samatha and Vipassana Bhavana. Anyway, we have many times and repeatedly talked about Rupa side of the Nama and Rupa, so-called an individual or a person or a being is made up of mind and the matter, or psychophysical complex, basing on this physical body, the mind arises. So this composite of body and mind is called an individual or a being. And we are studying how to identify these phenomena in our meditation. And we have many times repeatedly explained about the Rupa side of the Nama Rupa. And let us continue about this Nama side. The very first insight a meditator can realize in one's spiritual practice or meditation, especially this insight meditation or Vipassana Bhavana, is the Nama Rupa Parichita Jnana, the knowledge or the distinguishing knowledge between mind and the matter, the two different things. We have many times explained how to identify. Like when you enter the meditation, when you are noting rising, falling of the abdomen. Rising, falling of the abdomen is Rupa or material phenomena. And the noting mind is the Nama or the mental phenomena, the two different things. So this is, if you carefully or mindfully watch these objects, the first realization one can gain is this Nama Rupa Parichita Jnana, or the analytical or distinguishing knowledge between mind and the matter. And how do you identify? We have already explained these Rupa or material phenomena and meditation. And Abhidhamma Buddha has categorized this matter or material phenomena into 28 categories. All are derivatives of these four gross elements of Patavi or Earth element, water or Abor element, Abor Dhatu or water element, Tejo Dhatu or heat element, and Vayo Dhatu or wind element. So in our meditational practice, if we can identify these four gross elements with their characteristics, then it serves the purpose. And that we have many times gone in detail, and by this time I hope you all are familiar how to identify these four gross elements. And let us continue with the Nama side or the mental factors. And I have begun explaining in my last talks, two talks about this mental side or Nama component of so-called Rupa and Nama that constitute an organism or a creature or a being or a person. Here too, Buddha has classified into two categories. Nama or mental factors. One is Citta, mind or consciousness or Vijnana. It's the Citta. And another is Cetasika. Cetasika is mental concomitants or mental factors or mental accompaniments. Let's just stick to one, mental concomitants. And these two, and Abhidhamma Buddha has separated Citta into 89 mundane, and if you add supramundane, it put total 121 types of Citta, and 52 Cetasikas Buddha has elaborated regarding the Cetasikas or mental fighter. Practical application in our practice, let us study the salient features of these mind and mental concomitants or Citta and Cetasika. And in my last talk, I've already explained briefly. Cetasika, out of 52, Buddha has isolated out the two due to their specific function, and the rest 50 collectively one. So out of the three Cetasikas, the first one is Vedana. In Pali, it is feeling or sensation. Number 2 is Sanya or perception. And number 3 is Sankhara, headed by volition. And these all 50 Cetasikas are collectively termed as Sankhara, because the volition is the forerunner and followed by mental formations. So these constitute 50 Cetasikas. So 3 mental fighters or mental concomitants of Cetasikas are Vedana, Sanya and Sankhara. And the fourth category in this Nama portion is what we call Citta or the mind. It is translated as Vijnana or consciousness. So in our practical meditation, how do we identify these mind and the mental concomitants or Citta and Cetasika? The first one, Vedana, feeling or sensation. I have already explained. There are 3 types of Vedana, feeling or sensation we can identify. The one is Dukkha Vedana. It's unpleasant or unpleasurable sensation. The first one. Then Sukha Vedana. Sukha Vedana is pleasurable or pleasant sensation. And the third variety is Adokama Sukha Vedana. Neither unpleasant nor pleasant sensation. So 3 Vedanas or feeling or sensations we can identify in our practice of meditation. Out of the 3, the most easily identifiable one is the first one, Dukkha Vedana, unpleasant sensation or unpleasurable sensation, because it is gross and it can attract the mind, the noting mind. So it is easy to identify Dukkha Vedana because most practitioners, especially at the early phases, when one is doing especially sitting meditation without moving easily, then these unpleasant sensations can arise and they can easily be identified. For Sukha Vedana or pleasant or pleasurable sensation, because it is subtle, it is a little bit difficult, and more difficult is the third variety, Adokama Sukha Vedana, neither unpleasant nor pleasant sensation, which is translated as neutral feeling or equanimous feeling. But better stick to this Adokama Sukha Vedana translation, neither unpleasant nor pleasant sensation. So Dukkha Vedana, unpleasant or unpleasurable sensation like pains, stiffness, tingling, numbness, itchiness, etc. can be recognized easily because they are gross and they can attract the noting mind. So by patiently tolerating and noting mindfully this Dukkha Vedana or unpleasurable sensation, when the pain or this unpleasant sensation change or fade away, then it becomes pleasant or Sukha Vedana. And when it completely recovers from these sensations, so it can be the third karati, So only by relativity we can identify, because it will regards to this unpleasantness of dukkha vedana. When dukkha vedana subsides, it becomes sukha vedana. And when more subtle, it becomes adukkhama sukha vedana. That's how you can identify in practical meditation. Then the second cetasika or mental factor is sanya or perception. Perception, as you all know, is the marking. Marking means you either acknowledge or register the new or renew experience of the object, or to recall whatever you have already experienced. So that is perception. Like when we were young, and when we are aware of our environment, we try to register in our mental stream, like this is the father, this is the mother, this is the brother, this is sister, this is the friends, and the names are so and so, and all the living or non-sentient things like tables, furniture, whatever we can learn, we learn and register. And the next moment we see, then we can recognize. These are all the perception or sanya work. So in practical meditation, mindful noting of your object with labeling or names is this the work of sanya. Like in sitting meditation, if you note rising, falling of the abdomen, or sitting, touching, and walking meditation, noting the steps by labeling as right step, left step, lifting, putting down, lifting, moving, putting down. All these are the work of sanya. And the third mental factor or cetasika is sankhara. Sankhara, as I said, is composed of 50 cetasikas headed by volition. So there's some give the name just sankhara as volition, or more completely, it is mental formation. Because of this volition, the actions are formed due to the mind. So that is why they are translated as also mental formations. Here in your practical meditation, you all are instructed to observe the intentions in every action, especially the major ones, like when you want to change from sitting to walking meditation. Instead of getting up heedlessly, if you first watch the mind, the intention to get up will arise first, and you make a mental note, and then into get up, and then into get up, then get up slowly. Then after standing up, before you walk, if you watch the mind, intention to walk will arise. And these intentions or volitions are sankhara. And due to them, the walking or standing or sitting activity or actions arise, and they are mental formations. So they are the same process, and they are collectively done as sankhara. So if our meditators take heed in these intentions or volitions, the benefit is you can gain the second insight, pacchaya parikkhā jnana, the distinguishing knowledge between cause and effect. And the benefit you gain is you can expel the deity or the wrong view, ahetuka deity, causeless view, some view that they said all in the world things are happening by without any cause. So this is because ahetuka deity. So when you can catch these intentions or volitions before any action, then this I dukkha deity can be expelled. The benefit. Then the fourth category in this nama, or the mental portion of a psychophysical complex, is vijnana, or pariva vijnana is translated as consciousness, or the mind, or the citta. So here, as I said, Buddha has elaborately categorized into many types of cittas, but in meditation, for practical purposes, we must be familiar at least with 6 types of consciousness that we can use as object of meditation and this insight meditation or vipassana power. We are endowed with 6 special sense organs in our body. One is the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind. From here we can experience sensations so that we can communicate with the outside world. So with the eye we see objects, with the ear we hear the sounds, with the nose we get the smell, with the tongue we get the taste, with the body we get the tactile impressions or tactile sensations, and with the mind we think or we thought or ideas. So these are the 6 sense organs. From there, when corresponding objects come into contact, then 6 consciousness arise, and these 6 consciousness we must understand and must be able to identify in our meditation. Now the first one, seeing consciousness. In normal daily word use, we just say seeing. In technical terms, seeing means seeing consciousness, because the seeing is by the mind, not the eye. Eye is just instrumental, and seeing is only by mind. So there are 4 conditions needed for the seeing consciousness to arise. One is eye sensitivity or jakku pasada. Pariva jakku pasada means eye sensitivity. Not the whole eyeball. The whole eyeball is just a setup. And at the back of the eyeball, that is in medical terms you call it retina. And their optic nerve endings are there, and that's where the seeing consciousness arises. So anyway, this jakku pasada or eye sensitivity must be functioning normally for the seeing consciousness arise. So the first requisite is this jakku pasada or eye sensitivity. Then the second requisite is visual object. There must be some object for the eye to see. Without the object, the seeing consciousness cannot arise. So the first condition is jakku pasada, eye sensitivity. Second is the visual object for the eye to see. Then the third requisite is aloka. Aloka means light, either natural light or artificial light. So eye sensitivity is functioning well, though there is object to see. If there is no light, if we are in the darkness, we won't be able to see each other. So the third requisite is aloka, or the light. There must be light. And not only these 3, and the 4th requisite is manasikara. The mind must incline towards the object. So we are sitting and facing each other, and there is light. If our mind is not focused on the object, or mind may be thinking something, so we may be looking with the eye, we won't see. So these are the 4 requisites that is essential for the seeing consciousness to arise. Jakku pasada or eye sensitivity, visual object, aloka or light, and manasikara, focusing of attention. Then the second sense organ is the ear, where hearing consciousness arises. So here too, in normal daily usage, we just say we hear something, but technically it is a hearing consciousness that arises, then we can hear. Here too, same four conditions are necessary for the hearing consciousness to arise. This hearing consciousness is called Sota, Vijnana and Pali. So here too, ear sensitivity must be functioning well, Sota Pasada. Not just the external ear. External ear is like a sound trapper, it traps the sound. The ear has three portions. Outside is the external ear, then the tube is middle ear, and the final is inner ear, where the sensitivity of the hearing apparatus is existing. So this sensitivity, ear sensitivity, Sota Pasada, must be functioning well, the first condition. Then the second requisite is there must be some sound. Ear sensitivity must be functioning well. Then there must be a sound to hear. And the third is akasa. There must be a space. Nothing is blocking the sound wave. Like the wall is here, what we are talking inside may not hear. Because of the barrier, there must be no barrier. There must be a space for the sound wave to travel. So akasa, the third requisite is akasa, and the fourth is like Jakupasada or seeing consciousness to arise, manasikara. So these are the four conditions. Sota Pasada, ear sensitivity, and the auditory object of a sound. Then akasa or space, and manasikara or focus of attention. Then the third sense organ is the nose. Smelling consciousness to arise. The nose sensitivity must be functioning well. Nose sensitivity in Pali is called Kana Pasada. Nose sensitivity must be functioning well. The first requisite, and there must be smell. Then the third is there must be water. Water means wind. Pariva water, V-A-T-A, water is wind. There must be wind to carry the smell to come into contact with the nose sensitivity. There must be wind or air, and then manasikara. So the four conditions are necessary for the Kana consciousness or smelling consciousness or Kana Vijnana to arise. And the fourth one is tasting consciousness, or some say tongue consciousness. Same for the tasting consciousness to arise, the four conditions are needed. Jiva Pasada, tongue sensitivity must be functioning well. This is the first requisite. And on the tongue there are taste buds, and they must be functioning well. So that is in Pali we call Jiva Pasada. Then there must be some essence of the taste, like food or drinks we take. So this must come into contact. So to come into contact, there must be water, apple, or water. Because the dry tongue or dry essence cannot produce this. To produce this, the water must dissolve the essence and that come into contact with the tongue sensitivity. Then only one can experience the taste. And the fourth one is manasikara. Tongue sensitivity at the taste or nutriment, and up or water, vehicle, we need a vehicle to dissolve the essence and the manasikara. So these are the four conditions for the tasting consciousness to arise. Then the next one is body sensitivity or kaya vijnana, body consciousness. It is translated as body consciousness to arise. So here too, the first requisite is body sensitivity, kaya pasada. First requisite is kaya pasada, body sensitivity must be functioning well. The whole that is extensively covered by the skin, our body is. So to all the parts of the skin must be sensitive. Sensitivity must be functioning well. That is called kaya pasada. Kaya pasada. Then potapa ramana, the tactile object. Like now when we are putting on the clothing, then we can feel the clothing in contact with the body. That is, the clothing we call potapa ramana, the tactile objects. And there must be contact here for bodily consciousness to arise. These aramana, the tactile object, and the body sensitivity must come into contact. So contact, and then the fourth one is manasikara. So then body consciousness can arise. Then the sixth one is mind consciousness. Mind consciousness here too, from mind base is bhavanga chaita. Bhavanga chaita is translated in English as life continuum. Bhavanga chaita, when bhavanga chaita and the mental object, when they come into contact, and this manasikara, they will give rise to mind consciousness, or mental consciousness, or mind consciousness. So this is the sixth consciousness that can arise. So in our practical meditation, we must be able to identify these six consciousness or the mind. Check eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, and the mind consciousness. So these are the six consciousness that one should be able to identify in one's meditation. So that completes the nama portion of the rupa and nama. Rupa can be identified with four gross elements of earth, water, heat, and wind. And nama can be identified with three categories of Cetasika or mental factors and one consciousness: Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and Vijnana. Let us try and understand some salient points regarding about the mind. Mind is a big subject, but as I often stress, for practical purposes, we need to know these some important or salient points. And Dhammapada Buddha said, Durangama. The mind, Durangama means mind goes far and wide. Durangama means meaning mind can incline towards the object regardless of its space and distance and time. Like supposing though you may be sitting here, if you think of some part of the world you've been, then the mind can incline and take up the object, that far away object, which you have been experienced before. So that is the one salient feature of the mind. Mind can, far and wide means mind can take up any object regardless of its distance in space or time. For this body cannot travel wide. If we want to travel, we have to use comprehensions, and it takes time to reach there. But for the mind, if you try to incline towards the object, it goes far and beyond. Like from here, one part of the wall, if you incline towards the other part of the wall, then the mind can reach within immediately and within a short time. But not this physical body. Physical body is made up of gross elements, so we cannot travel far and wide. So the next discipline feature of the mind is ekachara. Pali word ekachara means it travels alone, not with a company. It travels alone means it arises one by one. One citta can arise only at one time. Only when that ceases, then a new citta can arise. So it arises singly. That is the meaning. It travels alone. Like for instance, now you think that you are seeing me as well as hearing my voice at the same time. Actually, though you may be looking at me, when you are paying attention to the hearing, or when you are hearing, you don't see me, though the eye may be looking at me. And if when you focus attention with the eye and see, then you miss my sound. Because the door is different. When the ear cannot see and the eye cannot hear, so they arise one by hearing. When hearing consciousness arising, at the time, seeing consciousness cannot arise. For the seeing consciousness to arise, the hearing consciousness must cease. So that is the mean ekachara, mean mind arise alone, one by one. That feature of the mind we make use of in dealing with wandering mind. When the mind wanders off, or when the mind is thinking, if you know thinking, if your noting mind is strong, the thought cannot continue. That's how you stop the thinking. So that is why you all are asked to be patient, tolerant, and patiently, if you can watch when the mind wanders or when the mind is active in thoughts, just note as thinking, or wandering. When you are noting mind becomes strong, the thought cannot continue, and that's how you deal with wandering mind. And the third feature of the mind is asariram. Pali word asariram, is negative prefix. No body, the right translator, meaning it is not matter, it is kind of energy. The mind is like the tube and the light. Tube is material, light is, we cannot identify as a material. There is no substance or no body. Asarira means no substance. It's not a physical matter, it's just kind of energy or a faculty. So mind's nature is asarira. We cannot identify life, this physical body, with gross elements of earth or fire, wind, etc. It is just a kind of energy like electrical energy or magnetic energy. So the third feature of the mind is asarira. It has got no physical body. That's why Bhakti mnemonic is, if you ask what is matter, it is never mind. What is mind? No matter. So they're quite different. The matter is just composed of gross elements, whereas the mind is just energy. And the fourth feature of the mind, Buddha expounded here, is guhasaya, meaning guha means cave. Mind lives in a cave, meaning mind is based on this hollow organ, this physical body. As you all know, our physical body is made up of hollow organs, like the heart or the brain or any organ is hollow inside. So that is why main meaning is the heart arise basing on rupa or this physical body or physical organ. So that is the fourth feature, is guhasaya. Here, worthy of notice, sometimes it arises some kind of confusion about mind arising from brain or heart. If you understand Abhidhamma clearly, then no confusion can arise. Mind has two levels of consciousness, like a river or a stream. There are two currents. Upper current is influenced by external influence like heat and wind. And lower is undercurrent, we call lower current. So the mind has two levels or two categories. One is we call Bhavanga Citta, translated as life continuum, that begins with a good life under the end of the death. The first is we call rebirth consciousness or Patisandhi Citta, and between is Bhavanga Citta, and at the time of death is Juti Citta. The whole stream is Bhavanga. And when object is presented to these sense organs, the brain has to interpret the corresponding sense perception, like seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching. And that we call Viti Citta. This is a processed thought. So processed thought is functioned by the brain. And this Bhavanga Citta or life continuum is based on the heart. So that there can be no confusion. But if you want to argue each other, and we can take that general meaning that it lives in the hollow organ, means mind arises based on this physical body. Idame Punya Nibbanasa Pachayo Hotu Idame Punya Yadinam Hotu Sukita Hontu Nyatayo Imano Punya Bhaga Sabha Satana Tema Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May you all be happy. May you all be healthy. May you all be free from suffering. May you all attain eternal peace or Nibbana in the shortest possible time. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.